I'm 40 years old. I am married with 2 children and have a spouse. She is also 40. I have a small business for the 2nd year. We have an apartment. We have a car. My wife is on maternity leave. We've been married for 12 years. My spouse is good, cooks deliciously, the house order, in the upbringing of children soul invests, if necessary help in business always tries to help. I am grateful to her for many things. The problem is one in our family and it is in me. I confess I often cheated on my wife. We had no special passion in bed, maybe the first 6 months only and then all quietly at home. First we just lived together, then formalized the union. And actually family life, sex did not give us vivid emotions. Perhaps I did not excite my wife so much. She on my questions in this direction always said that for her everything is normal. Actually, that's why I went to the side to get more. I got acquainted with ladies. I prioritized married ones. True, I thought about the risks that husbands suddenly find out and there will be consequences, but in general, so far, everything went around. Relationships with mistresses were on average from 6 months to a year. But this last one left questions. Her name is Jane. She's 38 years old. She has a husband, 3 children. She hardly ever worked. Her family was supported by her husband. She took care of the children and the household chores. My husband is definitely above me in terms of finances. I met her in social networks. On the photo was a woman serious frowning something, but caught her nickname. The correspondence just flowed. It was very interesting to communicate with her. A lot of different topics. Flirting was not direct and vulgar, and very all subtle she presented. In the questionnaire she indicated that personal meetings are not looking for personal meetings. She is married and only friendly communication. Nickname in Telegram she gave a month after communication and a month later we met in reality. Probably I warmed up to the volcano. When I saw her for the first time in person I was stunned. She was so beautiful. On the 2nd date we kissed and it was a storm of emotions, sensuality. What surprised me that she first indicated that we only have sex, families do not ruin and do not think. She admitted that before me there was an experience with lovers, periods. The sex was great. I had never experienced such sensuality. Jane also once shared that at first she was nervous, then she was able to relax. We could see each other rarely, once a week, and all our leisure time was reduced to the hotel, sex, talking, buying desserts, drinking tea. Then she first confessed her love when she flew on vacation with her husband abroad. From her flow of tenderness poured. I also confessed to her when she came back I was happier than anyone else in the world, but with my mind I knew that there were hiccups. And it seemed to go well. There was a balance. Everything went kind of smoothly. We had some great encounters. And I started getting clingy, asking for more frequent meetings, to meet not only in the hotel but also to go for walks. To what she said, "Why do we need these walks? It is better to spend time on sex." She of leisure offered to visit, sometimes the theater. From time to time she withdrew a little and I too a little. Once she was sick. I asked about her health. I wanted to make an appointment with my therapist. She refused to help. When she recovered, began to not understand my hints about dating, and then I exploded. I rolled out a claim that she does not want to date. And she said she was taking a week off. I realized I was being drained. Later resumed, everything seems fine, sex is great, communication too, but at times I feel from her distancing and from me fly claims. Later another moment started. She had 2 friends in her Telegram that I don't understand. She told me about them herself. I asked to show the correspondence. And one quite decently wrote everything. The second was brazen. From him was a constant unconcealed flirtation and open offer of sex. I did not like it all. I offered her to delete it, to which I heard that I'm climbing on her territory, violating boundaries. In general, my jealousy in all its glory manifested itself, constantly pressured on this issue. And she generally since that time began to often joke on the verge about other men, and I was pissed off. As time went on, I fell in love more, to the point that I wanted to live with her. I offered her, and she said, "Get divorced, move to an apartment, I'll come over, we'll cook, I'll look around for a year or two, and maybe I'll get divorced and move in with you." I realized that my importance to her is not great, but objectively her husband earns more, she has 3 children, why should she ruin it all? 2 years into our relationship, my wife told me directly that she knew about the mistress. My wife asked me to finish, and I really was not afraid to lose the family, and all continued. At home began scandals. I behaved like a pig. When it came to the fact that I see that my wife is ready to take the children and leave, I realized that it must end, and here, apparently, came the turning point. I wrote to my Jane that my wife gave my wife an ultimatum: I can no longer meet as lovers. Or let's divorce and live together. Jane initially agreed to break up. She said we should keep families together. I honestly exhaled, but it got more complicated. Jane said she couldn't do it without me. I'm good too. I couldn't resist. Sex again. Lots of emotions. Soon the wife again finds out about the continuation. And there were scandals in front of the son, who already understands something. Then Jane tells her husband that she loves me. Her husband asks her to leave me and keep the family together. She breaks up with me. A week later, we get back together and it's all over again. And she finally files for divorce. But then something else starts to happen. My business goes downhill. Customers delay large sums of money. I get sick. After they filed for divorce, I was invited by her husband to their house to socialize. I met the kids. They welcomed me back. Jane offered to move in with her. According to Jane, her husband refused to sell the house and divide the property, but he moved out. As the owner, he did not mind that I would live in the house, and we talked about it personally. A lot of things were strange to me. Jane's husband was fully invested in her, paid for her many courses in the beauty industry, and helped her open an office. She has trips abroad every year. Anyway, I didn't understand why she was getting a divorce. I couldn't give her that much. Something else happened. Jane and I took the kids to the park for a walk, and I asked her how her day was yesterday, and she modestly said she had 2 clients, and usually she talks about what a unique case was and how she solved it. But here she just said it in passing, and that's it. I asked her what kind of clients were there, and then I was like a bang on the head. She told me that came to her as a client. Her pen pal from Telegram, who openly offered her sex in correspondence. I told her why you didn't tell me he was coming, what kind of meetings were going on behind my back. But my mistake is that I started to deal with it in front of the kids. But I just exploded. I gave her an ultimatum that she stops communicating with him and blocks or communicates further, but then we do not have a relationship. She started talking about her boundaries again, but I did not move. With a squeak, she ended communication with him. I didn't like that trait of hers, defending communication with a left-handed man. In general, the business is shaky. Financial stability is not. I got very sick. At this point, I'm trying to move to Jane, and I'm really a day, 2 at her place, and I feel bad. I want to go home, just some discomfort. I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go to Jane. I slowly became friends with Jane's children. I took my daughter to courses. We talked a lot. My youngest son is hyperactive. He was always hugging. But he is so loving. While I was at Jane's, it turned out that it was not a pleasure to cook for her. The household is organized in a peculiar way. But I realized that I am on someone else's territory and I need to invest somehow, to build something common. But somehow it did not go. She kept pushing, demanding that I move my stuff in with her. In the end, when I arrived with my stuff, I saw how reluctant Jane was to clear out the closet for my stuff. I asked her, "Is everything okay?" She said she was having trouble figuring out where to put my stuff, and I wondered if she needed me that much. But I didn't ask for it. I said let's put off moving my stuff and think about it. She ignored me for the next 24 hours. I postponed the divorce. It's financially difficult. Actually, the situation was swinging from side to side. I had sex with Jane several times and I live at home. I told my spouse that I do not communicate with Jane. Alibi dates are rare. Jane started to freak out, claiming, "You didn't get divorced, but you sleep with me and my wife." Then came the direct disrespect to me, and I was merging, something I tried to explain to her. There came a point when Jane simply wrote, "If you get divorced, call me." I asked for a meeting, tried to change her mind, and then I got the phrase, "I don't want to have sex with you." Finally, it came to me that they categorically don't want to be with me. But I want to understand why Jane divorced but did not want to accept on its territory, although she offered and even with her husband personally introduced. I realize I'm not very good with boundaries. But she's fickle too. How do I proceed? I feel like my wife's backlash may come eventually and Jane doesn't really need me. Yeah, I just need to start taking care of myself. Now I'm going to the gym, I'm getting my health back, I'm trying to get my finances in order. Please subscribe to the channel. There are many more interesting stories to come. Thank you.